Okay, I think we're started here. All right, so video number 3. What are essential oils? Why is everybody talking about them, right? Okay, so I'm going to read you the technical definition of what an essential oil is. And it's coming from my trusted essential oil desk reference book. This is the first one that I had gotten 12 years ago. Okay, so what is an essential oil? Essential oils are aromatic, volatile liquids that are distilled from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, and seeds. All right? Now, technically for seeds, it's usually a pressed situation, but they can distill them. So let's talk about what essential oils actually do within the body, or what they do within a plant. Let's start with that, what they do within a plant. So an essential oil, basically, first of all, it's not in all plants. So a lot of people think that, oh, okay, all these plants have essential oils. That's actually not true. It's a small percentage of plants that have enough essential oil in them where we can source it. So an essential oil within a plant sits in these, we'll call them sacs, sits within these sacs. And when a plant, very similar to like our body, comes under attack from a fungus or some type of a parasite or a bacteria, the essential oils are released throughout the plant, and then the essential oils will ward off that attack through different methods. So within a plant, so I have to be very clear on my wording here. Within a plant, essential oils will act as antifungals, antiparasitics, antibacterials, such like that. So on the event page, just because since we're kind of touching on this right now, on the event page, you are going to see a post that is a disclaimer. And I know that I've mentioned it on the other videos, but I want to make sure that you're all clear on this. So Young Living is not endorsing this online essential oil course, although I'm only speaking about Young Living. I'm also going to be talking about other modalities for wellness, other tools for wellness. I may mention them here and there throughout the 5 days. Things like, energy work, things like ionic foot baths, things like therapeutic touch or Reiki, things like that. So as I share with you, please be clear on this. I am not in any way trying to diagnose or prescribe treatment. And the opinions that I am sharing are not endorsed or supported by Young Living. They're my personal opinions, okay? So we're not going to hold Young Living liable. However, please know on a personal level, I truly try to make sure that I am sharing the best information and knowledge based on my awareness at this time, okay? All right. So what do the essential oils do? We talked about how they actually act within a plant. So they act kind of like a first line of defense. Within the body, the idea is that if you keep an essential oil as close to its natural state as when it's found within that plant, what it will do for our cells is basically act as a detoxer. So there are certain compounds within the essential oils that actually help to detox our cells. Now, understand this, essential oils have hundreds of compounds within them. Some people have talked about, oh, well, I read a study that this can be harmful or toxic. Well, there are specific compounds within essential oils that in and of themselves, meaning by themselves, they can be considered toxic to humans. However, like with all good things, our Creator has a plan. And He put in place within these plants these essential oils that have hundreds of other compounds in them that almost act like a checks and balance. So when we're talking about essential oils, we need to talk about them in their entirety. You cannot separate out certain compounds and only take those compounds and think you are going to receive the full benefit of an essential oil. So essential oils, I like to talk about 3 compounds in particular. But remember, once again, I said there are hundreds of compounds and they all have different benefits. And certain essential oils will have higher levels of certain compounds than others. So basic knowledge is this. So this is like chemistry 101 when it comes to essential oils. We want to talk about the phenols and then the terpenes. It's going to be phenols, phenylpropanoids, sesquiterpenes, and monoterpenes, okay? I learned it this way. Think about PMS, but then just switch it around. PSM. Phenols, sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes. Okay, so oils that are high in phenol content are actually oils that have these phenylpropanoids, which come into your system, and they work with your cells in a way such that cells, if you look at the structure of cells, you will actually see that they have these receptor sites around the cell. And those receptor sites are responsible for bringing in oxygen and nutrients. They're kind of like a way into the cell. The problem is this. Because we are exposed to so many toxins in our environment, and I mean, we're breathing it in the air, we're eating it in our food, we're using it in our personal care products, we have them in our home. So when we talk about personal care products, what are we talking about? Hair product, perfumes, lotions, even the laundry detergent that you're using, air fresheners in the home, cleaners in the home. I've seen it all. Even things like this wonderful laptop that I'm looking at you all and talking to you on. It's emitting a frequency. That frequency is disruptive to my body's natural frequency. So maybe I should talk about that. Let's talk about frequency real quick. Because sometimes we use the word energy and people think, oh boy, here we go, the hokey pokey energy talk. Yeah, no, everything has energy, which is frequency or vibration. Everything from the table to the walls to the chair to your heart to your body to your thoughts, they all have a frequency. And so essential oils also have frequency. And frequency is basically the electrons that are moving around. The number of them and the rate at which they move, the speed, creates a frequency. This is science, okay? So certain essential oils will actually resonate with different body systems because of the frequency that they hold. And so when we are using essential oils, there are those phenols that have a frequency that when they come in, they are very good at cleaning receptor sites. Think of them like scrubbing those receptor sites clear, because toxins will accumulate at those receptor site locations. After the toxins have come into the cells, then they kind of back up and they start to block the receptor sites. So those receptor sites, once they're clogged up, guess what? You're not getting in oxygen very well. You're not getting in nutrients into your cell very well. So the phenols are really good about helping to clean that so that your cells are now able to go ahead and get those oxygen and nutrients in the way they were intended to, which is great. So the other thing is then you go into sesquiterpenes. So sesquiterpenes are kind of like oxygenators. They will attach, the essential oil molecules will attach on to things like free radicals and such, and they will help to pull those toxins out of your cells. So when the toxins get in our cells, they can actually start to cause different types of disruption in how our body is functioning. So not only do we want to be able to get the oxygen nutrients into our cells, but we want to also be able to get those toxins out of our cells. So oils that are high in sesquiterpenes are really good for that. And then you think about oils that are high in monoterpenes. So monoterpenes are considered almost like a restorative. They help to restore our cells back to their original state of functioning. So it kind of helps to smooth things out so that your cell now can do what it needs to do to rejuvenate itself and to start working at its optimal level. So all of these are a part of a detoxification process. So that is one of the reasons that when we talk about essential oils and we talk about people being newly introduced to them, first of all, you want to make sure you're not using some poor quality essential oil. You don't want to be using, a perfume grade or an aromatherapy grade essential oil because that is not going to help your body. That has synthetics in it. It will cause you more harm than you realize. So you really want to make sure that anything that you're smelling for aromatherapy, anything that you're applying onto your skin, that it is safe. It should be safe for ingestion also. That is one of the ways that you can know whether or not you have a really good quality, therapeutic quality essential oil. So when you have this detoxification process, the beautiful thing about it is that now the body is being given its opportunity to rebalance itself. So I've had people ask me, well, can essential oils cure this? Or I don't even like to say that word. Shh, don't say that word. What essential oils do is they help to promote healthy body systems. They help to support your body systems. And that is through a detoxification process. And as you are able to detox, your body is then able to start functioning at a more optimal level. And it will be according to whatever it is that your body is in need of. So I love to explain to people that when you work with essential oils, you want to be conscious of the fact of not everybody is at the same toxicity level. So someone who perhaps works in a very toxic work environment, where they're exposed to a lot of chemicals, you want to be very gentle with how much oil you're using. You don't want to go in excess, because what will happen is they'll start to detox intensely. So one drop goes a really long way. For me, it took a couple of years. I'm exposed to a lot of essential oil now because of the work that I do. So I'm probably exposed to a couple hundred drops of oil a day. And it took me time to work up to that. And I would know when I was starting to detox a little bit too much. I would get like that dull headache. And so when you feel that coming on, what do? I'll show you what you do. I'll tell you what I do. I drink my water, which you'll notice is in glass, because remember I said no plastic? No plastic. So I will drink water to help flush those toxins out of my system. That is something that I do. So when you're talking about essential oils and how they can actually benefit your body, how they can help to support your body system, there are certain essential oils that will be good for certain body systems. But all of them benefit your whole being in its completeness, in its entirety. So when I say whole being, what do I mean by that? Hey, guess what? We're not just our hand, we're not just our shoulder, we're not just our legs, we're not just our foot. So when I hear people say to me things like, oh, I just have, and they throw out some medical term, I sit there and I say, guess what? If you are manifesting a physical ailment or illness at this time, that means that there's been something going on in your body for a while. So they help to support us not only physically with our body systems, but they also help to support us emotionally and mentally. So we're going to get into the first step, which is talking about the different types of oils, because it's important that you understand the different oils that Young Living offers and how you can know which ones you need to be cautious with, how you know how to use them. So let's get into how you can use them. That'll be in your next video.